Okay. Um, Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. It's the World of Darkness, Changeling, Werewolf crossover. Um, Today I find Sam having stopped off. He was running a favor for his father, and he stopped off in a coffee shop, um, in Brooklyn. Just he looks a little tired, and he could use a pick me up, and so he'll hop in line and yawn very long. And wait for his turn. It's a bit of a long line, not huge, but long enough that he tucks in to wait.
Already there is Dizzy, a 4'6" redhead girl. She's currently drinking from she brought her own mug, and it is almost the size of her head, and she's drinking from it and reading a automotive manual.
Well, he'll get his order. He actually ordered just a simple black coffee to go. You notices he throws in a splash of cream, 2 sugars, and he'll look around, and the place is pretty much kind of packed. But he's actually used to German seating and dining, which is a bit communal. So he'll kind of look around and, hey, who has an open spot near her? And it would be Dizzy. So he'll go and kind of sit down, and he pulls out a magazine, Popular Mechanic, and he'll start kind of flipping through it.
Dizzy's going to make a quick perception empathy check. Yeah, it's probably not going to be enough to tell if he's just faking it for her benefit.
Okay.
So
yeah.
she looks up and she doesn't seem that nonplussed about strangers sharing her table. She will take her boots off of the chair on the side, though, and sit up a bit and say, "Hey there."
Oh, he'll kind of shake his head, and he'll say, I am so sorry. I didn't mean to just sit down at your table. I'm still getting used to American dining and culture.
It's all right. Didn't have anyone to sit with today. She offers a grin. Even in the gray world, her teeth are slightly too large.
He'll smile at her politely. Very, very politely. The thing that she would notice is that he has a German accent.
Yeah. She has a Staten Island accent. Not too pronounced, but it's still a Staten Island accent. And she sits up a bit more and says, well, I'm Diana.
My name is Sam. I'll take a sip.
The other Sam I know happens to be a good fella. You've got a lot to live up to for that name.
Maybe I'm not a good fellow. I have found.
So what do you do, Sam? Oh,
me.
Sorry.
I'm looking for a job.
Yeah. Ever work in metalcraft?
9.
Too bad. I'm looking for more people to work in my shop.
That's nothing I'm not willing to learn. But
Can you operate a crane?
9.
Can you work a shovel?
Job.
Might be able to take you in as an apprentice.
Smile at her.
She smirks back, and recycling scrap metal is not the most glamorous job in the world, you understand.
If I wanted a glamorous job, I'd be a model.
You mean if you wanted a job where you weren't allowed to eat? She
My
says as
father,
she takes a nice big swig of coffee.
my father is a surgeon in the army, and my mother is an Air Force pediatrician. Neither for glamorous jobs.
Mm. Well, glamour isn't everything, she says, chuckling at a joke that only she gets.
I smile politely to her. Although my utility is probably best in office work.
I don't have much call for office work. I keep pretty clean ledgers.
That's it. I don't work.
But if you
Oh,
don't
yawn.
mind the,
Oh, yawn again. If you
yeah,
don't mind, if you don't mind teaching, then I don't mind learning.
I don't mind teaching. You'll have to work with Carlos. He's the only other employee I got.
Also, I will warn you. I'm telling you from the gate. I have no experience.
For the most part, the things that Carlos can't handle on his own is shoveling giant piles of metal into a very hot forge.
My arms will be flint.
Exactly. And you get to learn how to use the crane. She grins.
I'll smile.
Yeah. On steel days, you get to use the crane.
My father, he doesn't mind supporting me, but he wanted me to get a job. I don't mind. I understand. They are retired now, so they're living off of their pensions. And I am an adult.
Of course.
We'll
My
sit.
parents retired a month or two ago, and they left me the shop.
That's just good.
Yeah, but now I'm moving on to bigger and better things, and I kind of need other people to run the shop.
How many hours is it per week?
How many hours do you want to work?
We'll think. About 25.
She nods. I'll pay you minimum wage until your apprenticeship's over, and then I'll double it.
How much is, how long is apprenticeship?
Well, that depends on how quickly you pick things up. Once you're certified on the crane, and once you learn a little bit about how hot the forge needs to be, then your apprenticeship's over.
And, ballpark, giving, previous, apprentice?
Well, I haven't had any previous apprentices, but it only took me 2 months to get started on the crane.
Yes. Then I will have to set a precedent.
She nods at that and says, well, I think you've got a job.
A smile. He'll take out, he'll take out a, he'll take out a pen and a little notepad, like the spiral top bound notepad from his pocket. And he'll write down his name and his phone number. And he'll tear the
She'll
sheet off.
take it. She'll take it and she'll hand him a business card for DeSoto Scrapyards.
That he'll pull out his phone and just take a picture of the business card and tuck it in his pocket. She might notice. Maybe you have to do a perception alertness roll for it, but she may notice that there's
Sure.
movement in his pocket.
Sure. Nothing.
You got shit. Yeah,
His
she doesn't
pocket is
notice.
perfectly normal.
His pocket ain't moving at all.
His pocket is so normal, it's unusual.
It's unusually normal. What's wrong with what does it have in its pockets? Is the One Ring.
Yeah. She is going to do a perception canning on his banality.
Hey, girl.
Not D20s. What's wrong with you?
I'm just gonna say you might win.
Yeah, 2. So how banal is he?
He's a Garu, so Theurge. So I don't know how banal that is.
Give me a moment.
I think Theurge's banality is lower. I think it's somewhere in like 3 to
There's
4 or 5 range.
Guru.
Yeah, I know your auspice dictates your banality.
Your auspice and your tribe, actually.
Well, he's a Shadow Lord Theurge, so.
Yeah, give me a moment. Gotta find the thing. Syncing banality chart. Okay. Shadow Lord is 6. And I think Theurge makes it -2.
Hey,
So
girl.
4.
So
Neat.
yes, he has very low banality.
Yep. And she thinks he's just a dreamer, so.
You missing on a dream.
So she says, can you get started right away?
I said right now.
Why not? I got a load to deliver to the shop, and I'll show you around.
Sure. But I have a hedgehog on me.
Oh?
He'll nod and reach into his pocket and produce a hedgehog and hold it up.
Oh, how cute!
He'll put it on the table.
It's all cute and spiky. It's all cute and spiky.
My name is Bloom. He'll kind of pet her on her little spikes. She's a very, very, very calm, sweet hedgehog.
Dizzy will softly poke her in the tummy.
She explodes. Michael Bay is directing the scene. I'm just kidding. Bloom does not explode.
And today, Dizzy will be played by Megan Fox.
Yeah. No. He'll say, if you do not mind, Bloom, coming to work with me today, then I can go.
Oh, I don't mind. As long as you can keep her safe, you probably don't, she won't be very comfortable near the forge.
The only thing she does sometimes is she crosses into my onto my shoulder.
Dizzy nods, and she says, all right, truck's just outside. She slams back the rest of the coffee and puts the mug down, and you notice the mug is now mostly empty.
He'll drink the remaining bits of what coffee he had left. And he'll kind of get up and put Bloom back in his pocket. It's Bloom like the word flower in German, not like a flower bloom. Ironically.
Right. And she heads outside, and she's got a gray pickup truck. And sitting in the back of it is someone's old washing machine and like half of a motorcycle.
I'll smile.
Yeah, I've already sent the tires and the engine to be recycled elsewhere because I really don't feel like cleaning motor oil out of engine cylinders.
What happens if you don't?
Well, then it catches fire in the forge.
And that's
and then
not
you have a very black cloud of smoke that lingers in your freaking workshop for days.
So don't put motor oil in the forge.
Yeah, you don't want to put anything that burns in the forge unless you want to deal with the consequences.
I think you are the consequence.
Well, me and whatever damage you do to my shop, which comes out of your paycheck.
Ouch!
She chuckles a bit and says, I'm sure you'll be a quick study. And car starts. And on her way to Staten Island, and she takes the ferry. Because why not?
He likes riding the ferry, actually. He'll get out while they're riding, kind of look at the water. She may notice every once in a while, he'll kind of look at something, and he'll look for a very long time, and then look away at seemingly nothing. Or he'll kind of like...
if you should make a perception alertness check real quick on her.
PNA. Let's all make the PNA. 1, 2, 3. Now I need to see what his PNA is. This is what happens when you got like 8,000 characters. You don't know what the fuck your PNA is. Hold on.
Yeah.
On him, it's not so low, actually. He's got a higher PNA. Hey! I don't think people want to hear Dan Carlin in the scenes. My PNA is 5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I need a higher PNA. I see 1 success worth of shit.
Yeah, you'll notice she does that too. Okay, she does that too occasionally. It's what's going to happen is whenever she's talking to you, she makes an effort to look at you and only you. But whenever she's otherwise, you notice her eyes sort of dart in weird directions.
That's essentially what keeps happening with him. He keeps looking at spirits.
Well, it's changelings. I keep looking at Chimera.
We'll kind of lean against the edge of the boat again, looking at the water.
And Dizzy will put her feet up on the dash. One thing also I should note is she actually has stilts for the pedals. Because short quality.
It occurred to me something, and he'll actually kind of laugh about it. His eyebrows will go up, and she notices him chuckle.
Oh?
And he'll
Something
point.
Funny?
Yeah, he'll point. And ironically and strangely, he's pointing at the Statue of Liberty, which you can see on the ride from Staten Island Ferry.
Yeah.
And he kind of chuckles a little bit, and he says, I have not seen that.
Not seen the statue?
It should be funny that I come from Germany as an immigrant, and I've not seen the Statue of Liberty.
You should see it from the crown at some point.
Oh?
You can see the whole skyline. You have to wait a long time and climb these stairs that are about 1 foot tall. But yeah, you can see the whole skyline.
I went to the top of the rock with my father yesterday. It was very beautiful.
City's pretty beautiful at night from the observation deck of the Empire State Building, too.
I shall have to do that. So how old are you?
27.
Oh.
Been a Staten Islander my whole life.
I have been German my whole life. Let's say.
Yeah, funny how that works.
He'll smile. To be honest, it's because I'm Native American, isn't it?
I figure there was some kind of story for that.
My mother gave me up for adoption when I was little. The family that adopted me were military. When I was 2 months old, my father was stationed in Mansfield. And I grew up my entire life in Mansfield, Germany. I traveled to Ramstein, K-Town, Munich, Berlin, of course. But I have. It's where I was raised, and Lansfeld is so small, even though it is connected to one of the largest military hospitals in Europe. The city, that is where Lansfeld is, it's not Americanized. So I was raised in German culture.
Dizzy clears her throat a little bit and says, "Never knew Dad. Mom raised me single, and her life just kept getting worse and worse as time went on, and she died when I was 14.
Oops, sorry, how's that?
Murder. And I was there."
His eyebrows go up.
Yeah,
Mine does.
mugging is kind of terrible when you're homeless. Luckily, right after that, I got adopted by this nice old couple that ran the shop, and now I run the shop.
This is good for you. That you should come into something to sustain you.
She nods as the ferry pulls in, and the shop is ironically right next to where the ferry pulls in, so she drives the car into the scrapyard, and it's literally a dump, but it's fairly well organized for a dump. They're just giant piles of scrap metal, but if you paid attention, you could see that they're different kinds of scrap metal. Like there's a giant pile of aluminum over here, there's a pile of steel over here, there's a pile of like electronics over there. It's organized.
Mm-hmm. Hey, junk can be organized.
And there's going to be a little bit of extra spirit activity here because it's near a freehold. Or it's near where a freehold used to be. But glamour usually means that there's spirit activity.
What do I have to wear? What do I have to wear?
You're going to have to get some eye protection, some hand protection, and an apron. Luckily, I've still got my adopted dad's apron and gloves in here, and eye protection sort of one size fits all. So she leads you inside. There's basically the main building has the metal shop with like sort of all on a building that's on stilts, so all the walls are kind of out, and it's got a cone in the middle leading up to a smokestack so that the smoke doesn't sort of hang around in this area even though the walls are out.
Mm-hmm.
And in the middle is this giant drop forge. It's an industrial forge, and it looks like it's got, and if you've got any kind of industrial knowledge whatsoever, it's got extensions to change it into an ingot forge or a mold forge or a what have you. It's just a big freaking industrial forge. And it's got a sort of a funnel leading just outside next to a fairly large industrial crane with a magnet attachment and a small bulldozer. And there's tons of metal shop stuff with designs of things pinned all over the walls.
So is this job just heavy labor, or do you have to craft?
Well, crafting's the hobby. Heavy labor's the moneymaker. If you want to learn how to craft, I can help teach you to do that. And that'll be another pay double. She smirks, as soon as you're good enough at it.
Well,
She'll
nod.
nod as well. And she'll go over the basic safety of how to work in a metal shop, as if you're just a high school student who's never taken metal shop before. It's this. These are safety goggles. No matter what, you are wearing these when you are in here. This is a welding mask. If that forge is on, you are wearing this. These are welding gloves. You are wearing this if you are handling hot metal. This is a welding apron. You are wearing this if you're handling hot metal.
He pays meticulous attention. Like, seriously, like, she may have not expected the level of attention he pays. And it seems as though, regulation! I'm so happy!
Yeah.
This is like
Well,
screaming
that she's going to
little
see
happy
if she,
German heart right now.
with that, she's going to see if he can keep up with something. Once he's kitted out, she's going to turn the forge on, and she's going to hop in the crane, and she's going to dump a bunch of metal into the funnel, and then direct you where to stand, and she'll stand on the opposite side, and it's easing metal into the forge without dumping it all in so that it can actually melt. And you notice she's doing it faster than she should. Not like a really skilled craftsman kind of fast. It's like faster than should be possible.
Faster than is safe?
Faster than it shouldn't. Okay, when the way she's doing it, it's melting faster than it should. It's because I've got a merit called Speedy Hammer.
Okay.
Anything I'm crafting occurs at double speed.
He's going to assess
And she's trying to see if he can keep up.
He's going to assess the situation, trying to see if it's a situation where it's dangerous how fast she's going. And if it doesn't seem dangerous, then he won't say anything. But he will attempt to keep up.
It's not dangerous, but it's not dangerous. But if he tries to go that fast, he'll notice the metal isn't melting as fast as it is for her.
Yeah,
metal's doing something different with the way she's handling it.
Now here's the deal. He's not going to try to go as fast as she is right now. He's not trying to impress her. He's trying to learn. So
I know, but she's trying to see if he can keep. Yeah, she's trying to see if he can keep up, and she's got Speedy Hammer, so no, he can't keep up.
Yeah, he can keep up in determination and in stamina, but not in speed. Like he will, he will attempt to but it also seems as though he's trying to learn what he's doing. So he's taking
she's going to explain it slowly. She is going to explain it slowly, and when it's obvious he can't keep up in speed, she's going to purposefully go back to the normal speed, and the metal will now melt at a normal speed.
He would have also, by the way, put with all that stuff going on, he would have also put Bloom someplace where she would have been safe and not gotten out. He could have even put her in a box and she would have been okay.
There's drawers all over the place.
Yeah, they'll stick her in a drawer. she'll chill out.
Yeah,
Hedgies are good about that.
Yeah, there's toolboxes that are half empty and drawers holding paperwork, and
throw her in something with a couple of strips of paper so she can tear it and play with it, and some little pieces of yogurt chip, and then he'll just get set to work with Dizzy, basically just kind of
and Dizzy will talk on how hot the forge needs to be for what metals. Its steel needs to be at exactly this temperature and at this pressure, and that hits its melting point, and then we heat the forge up a little bit more so that the liquid flows right, and then we put it, and then we put in the ingot attachment, which she sets up, and it snaps into place, and then we pour, and she grasps her hands on the lever, and she's a lot stronger than she looks, you'll notice.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll pull it, and the forge tilts and it pours a steel ingot.
He was just watching very meticulously, absorbing everything that she was doing.
And that's what we do during a steel day. We wait till this ingot cools enough to be moved, and then we move it aside and start work on the next one.
Hold on. She also noticed that he was taking notes. That little notepad he had, he wrote down like every temperature that everything needed to be, and like where like things were and stuff like that, and put it back in his pocket. If he had to move anything himself,
Dizzy will point on the floor. There's a bit of yellow tape. It's kind of faded by now because she's worked here long enough that she doesn't really need it.
mm-hmm.
And she says, don't bring that notepad closer than there.
Hold on.
It burns. It burns, and this is a very hot forge.
Understood.
All right. And yeah, think you can handle that kind of labor?
Yeah.
All right. Now, I'm going to walk you through the basics of the crane while we're waiting for things to cool. Have a seat.
Go sit down.
All right. There's lots of freaking levers every which place. Gauges and things. It's heavy industrial equipment. It's not designed to be user-friendly.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll say, okay, here's the main joint. You want to extend that. You also want to extend the second joint, or else your magnet's going to smash into the ground, and that's bad because then you owe me a several $1,000 magnet.
Hold on.
And you don't want to push this button until you're absolutely certain you want to grab things, and just basic crane operation stuff here. All right. Now, I want you to put the magnet over that pile of steel over there. Just take your time, pull the levers slowly. Get a feel for what each one does.
He'll wait for her to give him space to get in.
She's tiny. She just ride on the side and be safe.
He'll walk through the steps that she pointed out. Again, he's not trying to impress her. He's trying to do it right. So, although I'm positive he makes a couple of little mistakes that she wouldn't make, especially since it's his first time, he is going slow and being meticulous and trying to not overcorrect, not basically. He's trying not
she'll nod
to.
appreciatively.
Yeah, and
she'll
he'll kind of
be appreciative about that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he'll before he does go much further, he'll say, "Have I followed all the steps correctly so far?"
Yes, you have. And now you get to push the big red button.
Ha 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 ha! He'll do like that.
And just like that, the electromagnet comes on, and a big pile of steel just goes chung.
His brows go up. That was satisfying.
Oh yeah. And then you bring it over to the nice aluminum chute.
So he'll
and you push the button again.
He'll follow those steps and do that part.
And just like that, it drops the metal into the chute. Yeah, you're a natural, kid.
A smile. Thank you.
So, you mentioned actual crafting earlier. You interested in that?
I think so.
I think we're going to get along just fine.
Smile.
Now, work here as long as you want. I'll tell Carlos about you. I'll give you personal instructions on crafting because he just knows the recycling end. As soon as you're sorted on the crane and sorted on the forge, then your pay will double. And as soon as I'm keen that your apprenticeship on crafting is over, and that will take longer, your pay will double again. Deal?
He'll hold his hand out.
She'll shake it.
I forget you, my
And
baby.
that's a well, I was going to say that was a good point to end the scene because I got to get ready for stuff.
Yep. He'll arrange to have his paperwork sent to her, and we can end it there. Well, thank you, players, for playing, and watchers for watching, and all those other good things. Bye.